Okay, so as promised, I said that I would show you guys my before pictures. Well, just to tell you my story, I was very depressed back in 1996, something like that. And I always struggled with my weight because I always had this addiction to using food to comfort myself, even as a teenager. So I would, get plumped and get small, get plump, get small, depending on my activity level. But as I got older and I got more settled down in my mind and less active, I put on a lot of weight because I continued to eat. And then I stopped smoking. At about 23, I stopped smoking. And I went from being about 160, I'm 5'5", to 270 pounds. And after that, I was just really depressed because I didn't know how to stop. I love to cook, love to eat, and food was just safe for me to run to because it just tastes good, and I've just always been a foodie. So, I went to a spiritual spa with the women from my former church, and received a lot of care and ministry and to one another, and it left me feeling like there was something else in life I can live for besides food, like we're building relationships, or even just relationship with myself, not just with other people. So, I started off with the videos, Tybo, back in 1998. I remember the exact day, September 19th. That's when I started. And I started with the Tybo. I had a Reebok step video and even a piece of cardio equipment. After that, I just started really getting with the basics of diets. I tried the low carb diet. That was the craze back then, the grapefruit diet, the Weight Watchers point system, which really worked for me. The Weight Watchers point system. And then I joined the gym. And then, I was taught, they laughed at me at the gym, because I was doing the cardio classes, the little aerobics classes, and everything was wobbling everywhere. And I heard the women laughing at me, but I kept going because their laughter wasn't greater than my determination. And it can be quite intimidating and embarrassing for you to be around people who work out, who think they're better than you when they're smaller. But that's a whole nother topic. So, after that, every month I would see myself like, oh my God, I'm actually losing weight, So just to show you some pictures. Now, this picture here was when I was about 220 pounds. I had lost 50 pounds. This is my friend's daughter. And I was 220 on this picture. And I didn't have many pictures when I was 270. So on here, you couldn't tell me I wasn't skinny. I was 220 pounds. And then, these pictures are so old and they're very kind of raggedy. So this picture here, I was about 200 pounds. Here, yeah, my Star Wars. This was back in about 1999. So I had lost 70 pounds. And then we have this picture here. I was about 180 here. I should have took better care of these pictures. Here is about 175. It's not really good lighting. I have to get better with this. Here I was 168. Let's see here. And I'm now here. I am 130 pounds. Now, here is a picture of my phone. I take a lot of pictures in my phone, and my battery is about to die, so I have it charging, of what I look like now. And, you know, I didn't have any surgeries, didn't take anything. You know, I just started really learning over the last couple of years about things like carnitine and things to burn fat. But it really was changing my mindset. I still love food, but I did a lot of substitutions. Like, there are things that I just will not, I'm not going to say will never eat, but I don't eat as a habit. The first thing I got rid of was whole milk. I went to 2%. Then I went to skim. Now I don't even drink cow's milk. I drink unsweetened almond milk, and I love it. Then, during that same time, simultaneously, these are changes I made. Got rid of whole cheese. And whole cheese is really good in certain recipes or if you're on a low-carb diet. But as a habit, I don't eat whole cheese. I went to 2%, then fat-free. Now I eat basically vegan cheese. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. But I just like the taste of it. And I'm trying to reduce my dairy products, you know, but I will eat fat-free cheese, 2% cheese, even whole cheese, depending on my diet. But as a habit, I don't. I eat a lot of egg whites, and I do eat whole eggs because the fat in the yolk is very good to balance out a lot of hormones. Eating healthy fats is essential to balance out your hormones, keep you satiated. And I love eggs and egg whites, especially in my recipes like my homemade pancakes. And in the morning with an omelet, I'll use one egg and have a couple of egg whites, depending on what my calorie intake. If I'm going to have a cheat meal on the weekend or a couple of cheat meals on the weekend, I may just go for the egg whites. Then I got rid of the lard and a lot of butter and a lot of the vegetable oils, and now I use coconut oil. It is a medium chain fat, so it doesn't act like a normal saturated fat. It goes into your body, gets rid of that fat in your gut, and also it is used for energy. It acts like a carbohydrate in your body. So it's really, really good for your digestive system. If you're constipated, it keeps your bowels flowing. It's a really good fat. So I use coconut oil in my recipes or even on my, side dishes. And I've never been into mashed potatoes per se, but I always loved French fries. Over the years, I kind of weaned myself from them. If I do have French fries, I'll cut a real potato up and put it in the oven. But now I really don't need them. But I have been using cauliflower, mashed cauliflower with a little bit of unsweetened almond milk and some coconut oil, and I will put it in my food processor, boil the cauliflower, put it in my food processor, and it tastes so good with like a piece of salmon or fish, or chicken. I eat tuna, a lot of tuna, and I'll put some sugar-free relish in it, or I make my own relish with celery and stevia, and I put an egg or some egg whites in it, and I put broccoli in there and make like a tuna salad without the pasta, but just the broccoli, the vegetables, and I do use fat-free meal. I love Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and I love apples, sunflower seed butter, and walnut butter. I'm just now getting into making homemade crackers. That's a whole nother topic, being a cooker. But if you're just, the type that love to eat and you want to do some substitutions, start with the basics. You know that eating an apple is better than drinking apple juice that has a lot of sugar. And if you have because it keeps you more satisfied. And eating a fresh apple is better than eating apple pie. You can actually make apple pie from just chopping up the apples, putting a little raw organic honey, some stevia, some cinnamon, some coconut oil, mixing that all together, putting it in the oven, topping it with some flaxseed meal, and that can be your apple pie. But you just going off raw, you know that an apple is better than apple juice and apple pie. A lot of people say, I don't know how to get started. Start with nature. You know that eating vegetables, salads, you know that a baked piece of skinless chicken breast is better than deep frying a chicken breast with skin on it. So just start with the basics. Take your multivitamin. I love a multivitamin because we don't get everything most of the time in our diet. I do take, and this is one thing that I love, because our digestive system, to me, I've really heard this, is our second brain. Because your gut can determine sometimes how you feel. If you feel bloated and weighed down, and if you have so much undigested food for eating too fast, sometimes I used to eat too fast, and just all that food could just be hindering your progress, because you're like, I know that I'm doing good, but you haven't moved your waist because it's just not digested for a lot of reasons. Not broken up properly in the mouth when you're chewing, or your gut is not breaking things down properly because you may not be eating the right enzymes that's in certain fruits and vegetables. So what I do to supplement, I do use, and I'm not a spokesman for these people at all, this is what I use, it has helped me, Ultimate Flora. This stuff really helps me stay regular. And it's not a laxative, it's just something that helps with your digestive system. And your digestive system is not just a part of your colon, it actually has your immune built in that. So if you're susceptible to colds all the time, you might want to supplement with a probiotic. And sometimes a probiotic that's in yogurt is just not enough. You need extra care. So Ultimate Flora has worked for me. So I take my multivitamin. I take Ultimate Flora for probiotic. I take some B6 with this stuff right here. B6 and magnesium work well together to calm you down at night. And when I'm menstruating, that's not a bad word. It's just something women do. I take this stuff. It's called Natural Vitality, Natural Calm. It's an anti-stress drink. And it has magnesium, so it relaxes you. And magnesium and B6 go really well together, because B6 actually helps your nervous system. It calms you down. And so you put some of this in something like a cold glass of water or drink, like a cold glass of whatever kind of drink you like, not any alcohol, but or maybe even your food, and you just put this in it. It works best in I usually put it in ice water at night, and I take it with my B6 right after my last meal. And it's vegan friendly, gluten free, and I usually use this at night if I'm having a hard time relaxing and going to sleep, or if magnesium really helps you when you're menstruating, or if you're a person, male or female, and you just have a hard time falling asleep, it really helps at night. So I take that at night. So there are a lot of things over the years that I've learned that help me in my journey. And I just basically have 5 to 6 meals. I make sure I usually eat 3 large pieces of fruit or 6 small pieces of fruit, and I count a half a cup of berries as a half of fruit. And I usually have, after my workout, some Greek yogurt and a small cup of Dole 100% 100% juice pineapple cup. And pineapples are good to break down the protein. It keeps you regular also because of it makes your blood alkaline. So I usually have that after my workout. And I usually have a couple of small to medium apples with maybe some walnut butter, sunflower butter, or almond butter. Throughout the day, I'll have that in between meals. And I use J-Raw protein powder. I usually don't like a lot of protein shakes because I like food. I like the some stuff with substance, So shakes really don't do much for me. I have used shakes before, but they don't really do much for me. I would rather make homemade protein bars with my protein powder, or use it for protein pancakes in the morning. So that's usually how I use my protein powder. So usually I have between, and realistically, I have between 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day on a normal day. If I know that I'm going out, like this weekend, we're going to Buddy's Pizza, and I am going to get the gluten-free crust, and I looked on the website, and it was about, I think, 223 calories per slice. That's just with cheese as a topping. I'm going to probably get some mushrooms and onions on top of that, and maybe even sneak some of my 70% fat-free turkey pepperoni in, put it on top of that. But that for 4 slices, because I plan on having 4 slices, it's about 1,000 calories. That's Saturday, and today is Thursday. So every day I've been doing like between 15 and 1,600 calories, because the way I work out a lot. I love to work out, so I usually have a quota, and I know losing weight is more about hormones than calories necessarily, but you do want to keep track of the calories that you put in, even if you're just mindful of how much you're eating and you're not logging, even though I do log. But I usually aim for between 10,500 calories per week to 12,800. So between 10,500 to 12,800. On a very active week, I will go as high as 14,000. So between 10,500 calories to 12,800 calories on a week where I'm losing a pound to a pound and a half of weight a week. If I'm in a maintenance phase, I will go as high as 14,000 to 15,000 calories a week. Right now, I weigh 130, and my goal weight has always been 125. Not because 5 pounds right now is just like, oh, if I don't lose 5 pounds, I'm going to die. No, but because I do want to one day compete in a bikini or figure, and I know that I will have to significantly drop down to like 115 on off season. So I don't want to be one of those people who diet for 5 months to get to a competition, and I'm miserable for 5 months, even though I know that some discipline and some kind of suffering may be involved in that, as any athlete will go through periods where they have to sacrifice. But I want to get to an off-season weight first that will allow me to diet comfortably, and then when that 4-week, maybe 2 months, or maybe no more than 12 to 8 weeks, I can diet more strict. So so that's basically, I do a lot of substitutions today. And I know I'm babbling on, this is a long video. Today I pretty much had homemade pancakes for breakfast. I had an apple after that for a snack. Then I had made a homemade protein bar, which was very satiating, and I used quinoa, and I got the recipe from Rob Riches. He has a lot of great recipes, granola bars. So that was basically like a meal, because it had like 400 calories in it. And then after that, 3 hours later, I had another apple with some walnut butter. And for dinner, I'm going to have a stir fry with the rest of my, not quinoa, but quinoa. Sorry. Quinoa. I'm going to have a stir fry with quinoa, bean sprouts, some diced chicken. And then after that, for dinner, I'm going to have some sunflower seed butter mixed with some walnut butter and a small apple. So that added up to 1,600 calories for the day. So just to give you a rundown, you can do it. Just go with nature. Apple before apple juice and apple pie. Orange before orange juice. Peach before peach cobbler. Salad with lean meat before deep fried food. Egg whites and just do your best and do your research, and you will do it. All right? Talk to you later. Bye bye.